the last time I talked about a player this heavily linked to the Winnipeg Jets was probably Matthias Ekholm, and that amounted to absolutely nothing in that trade deadline year, so take all of this with a grain of salt, but nonetheless, Meier Mania has begun again in Winnipeg thanks to Nick Kypreos. It seemed like there for a while that Winnipeg had dropped out of contention with the top teams bidding on Meier, but then all of a sudden, Saturday at 12 o'clock Pacific time, he drops an absolute bomb. Now, I know it's Nick Kypreos, so take it with a grain of salt, but again, I think there is some truth to these reports. I really do. I don't think that the Jets would just all of a sudden drop out when they have pretty good offers available, especially with the rumored offers that have been sent. But, without any further ado, let's jump into what Nick Kypreos said, and also, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Pig City Hockey, but let's jump into these rumors. I'm too excited to do the old intro. With Bo Horvat now on Long Island, all eyes are on San Jose Sharks stud Timo Meier. New Jersey and Carolina, a long shot, are teams making noise, but one NHL executive told me to keep an eye out for the Winnipeg Jets. With Blake Wheeler and Mark Scheifele on expiring contracts in 2024 and Pierre-Luc Dubois wanting out, Winnipeg would have the necessary funds to get Meier on a long-term deal. The problem is, he could also cost them top prospect Cole Perfetti. Now that is new. That is very, very new. We have not heard reports of Cole Perfetti being linked in a trade. At this point in time, it looked like Ville Heinola, Chaz Lucius, our first-round pick in this year, and potentially maybe some other, decent prospects, like Declan Chisholm, like Dylan Sandberg, those type of names. I doubt Dylan Sandberg gets moved, but those type of top guys on the Jets right now. This is, if I'm not mistaken, the first time that we have legit seen Cole Perfetti tied to a trade rumor. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, but then I also immediately was like, oh, wait, hold on, let's back it up a little bit and let's think about this, because even though I want Timo Meier on this team, and, I saw a great tweet from Jackson, aka Jets Hub, my co-host on the Prairie Puck podcast, shout out to him, go check out his channel, link in the description, talking about how if you want to go all in, you gotta spend the money to get that guy. Top tier game-changing players don't come cheap, and he's right, don't get me wrong, and I am okay with spending a hell of a lot in the prospect cabinet to bring in Timo Meier. Where I draw the line, I think, is Cole Perfetti. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh, it's not because I think Cole Perfetti is going to be some untouchable, amazing franchise player for us. I like Cole Perfetti a lot. I like this top six. And that's where I start to draw questions, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, this top six has problems. It has holes. We know it. It's true. It's evident. So if you trade out Cole Perfetti and bring in Timo Meier, your top six is still going to have holes. The idea of trading for someone at this deadline, at least according to my perspective, is that you're adding to this team. If you take out Cole Perfetti and you insert in Timo Meier, yeah, you're going to get some good play in there. Timo Meier is going to play well, hopefully, and fit in well, I would imagine. So yeah, I understand that. But then you're also creating a hole by trading Cole Perfetti. If you add Meier with Perfetti already on this roster, then you're better. The argument is so minuscule when you're thinking, oh, Meier brings this, Perfetti brings this. They're both good players. Obviously, Meier is better than Cole Perfetti at this point. But I don't think this makes the Jets some fantastic team if they trade away a top six guy. Because if you do that, you're going to have to go back out, trade more assets, and get another top six guy. And then that takes away from adding a JVR or a Max Domi or a Nick Ritchie for the third and fourth line to add depth scoring. Now you're adding one of those guys to the top six to help balance things out and reshape down that bottom six. You're trading more out is what I'm trying to say. So am I opposed to moving Perfetti? Yeah, I'm opposed to moving Perfetti because now you're going to just shoot yourself in the foot and have to, find more players to add in there. Because look at this right now, guys. Look at the top six, right? First line, Mark Scheifele playing up there with Blake Wheeler and I guess Kyle Connor at times, Nikolai Ehlers, doesn't really matter, right? The top six has been shuffled around a lot. Right now you've got Pierre-Luc Dubois, Perfetti, and then, either Ehlers, Dubois, blah, 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 right? Like, you have the guys down there. I don't like this. I don't think this would be the right move for the Jets. Unless Meier is locked up long-term, then yes, I can understand that. But, I get nervous when I see this. Like, this trump card makes everything so different now for the trade deadline. It's like, now you have a guy like Meier, who is heavily linked to the Jets, for good reason. Guys having a 52-point season in 56 games played on terrible San Jose Sharks teams with 31 goals. 35 was his career high set last year, so he's already going to be on pace to pass that. I get locking him up and bringing him in. I do. But then it's just creating problems down the future. Now, if you have to move Perfetti and Chaz Lucius, right? Those are, or even a Brad Lambert, If that's what it's looking like, 2 top prospects and a forward, maybe, if you don't want to give up the picks, or Perfetti and a pick, I don't know. But the point is that focus is around Perfetti, right? If you move out Perfetti and you move out one of your top forward prospects, you're a little screwed down the line. Now, I know Meier is good, but now you're going to have to find another piece to add to that top 6 and make us better. If you're asking me about trading prospects right now, trade everybody. I would take Chaz Lucius, Ville Heinola, first round pick this year, and then give like a Mason Appleton. That's my trade. You know why? Because I don't care about those guys anymore. I love Ville Heinola, but it's evident he's not making this club. So go out and make a trade like that. Clear out the guys you're not using that are elite NHL prospects, A-tier prospects. Why trade out the forward? Like, I know that might be your trump card, but unless he guarantees signing here, if that's what it takes to get him done long term, then I don't know. Maybe it changes things a little bit for me. Bringing Meier in for like 7 years, I'm okay giving up Perfetti for that because you have him locked up long term. But at the same time, this is very worrisome for me. Like, I like the idea of moving up prospects right now for the future and trying to win now. But Perfetti is in the win now moment. He is this window. Like, he's for the future and for right now. I just think trading out Perfetti at this point is going to have to add more questions to this team up front. You're going to have to do some more tweaking. You're going to have to balance the lines even more. You're not going to be able to make as many trades, probably. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Perfetti getting moved. And it's not because I'm not okay with giving up the top tier stuff to get him. It's because Perfetti is in win now mode too. Perfetti is having a great season for the Jets. Like, yeah, he's been slow at times, but like, how many points does Perfetti have right now? 29 points in 50 games, 7 goals, 22 assists. Like, that is a good top 6 forward for us. Like, I know if the points could be a little higher, blah, 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 but I don't know. That worries me a little bit. Trading out another forward to bring trading a one top 6 guy to bring in another guy, that's not making this team better. I know Meier is better, but long term, hockey is a team sport. You need good players around all these other good guys. And bringing in one guy that's better than another guy, and then having that hole still, I just don't know if I like that. I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen. This is just me talking about it. I'm really thinking about this, and I give any prospect you want at this point except Brad Lambert. But Perfetti needs to be here to help this team win now and next year. Like, because you're going to be giving up another top prospect. If Perfetti goes, I guarantee you Chaz Lucius or Ville Heinola is going as well. So that's 2 really young players going. One guy that's already a good roster player now, and then the other guy that could be a roster player, moving out for one guy that's, better than Perfetti right now because he's in his prime. And I get that, but I don't know. When I see this, it just creates more questions in my head for Chevy going into the deadline. Like, it really does. Like, maybe if there was a guy like Tarasenko available for what they, Rangers got him for, make that trade out Perfetti, bring in Meier, boom, there you go. There's your rental guy and your future guy in Meier, and for the long term, and then your rental in Tarasenko. That I'd be okay with, because then you're supplementing the guy you're giving up and giving a 3rd round pick or whatever exactly it was in that Tarasenko deal, and then bringing him in. That would make more sense to me. I don't know. I get worried when I see this type of stuff, because now it's like, you're going to be trading away a roster player in the top 6, bringing in a roster player, but then what do you do with this spot, right? Because now things are still going to be the same. You're still going to need some help up there. Meier is going to be good, don't get me wrong, but Dubois is going to leave long term. There goes your center. Yeah, you get assets back for Dubois, but who knows if you get anyone that's legit ready to go. Like, it just creates so many questions going down the line that's where my brain's at right now with it. Is that, yeah, I like the idea of Meier, but then when I see Perfetti going and I look at the future, I just get a lot of questions. So maybe it's okay, but Chevy, you got to have something more up your sleeve if you're trading away Perfetti just to bring in Meier, because you got to add more to this team. I just don't see Timo Meier being the guy that puts us over the top when you move out Perfetti. Like, you need Perfetti and Meier with all the other supporting cast of that top 6 to make this team a legit contender. If you trade out Perfetti and you add in Meier, yeah, we're good, but then we still have a hole in that top 6 unit. Just my opinion. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section below, as always. But yeah, very interesting to see Winnipeg just shoot up to the top of the list, potentially, with having that trump card in Perfetti. But Chevy's got a lot to think about if he moves this guy. Like, really, really a lot to think about. Because as much as I would love Timo Meier long-term on the Winnipeg Jets, right now, in the win-now mode, you're going to have to do more to add to this team if you're going to move out Perfetti. Because you need more top 6 guys. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking this, but I don't know. It's very interesting situation now, putting Perfetti in the middle of this. So let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section below. As always, I really do appreciate you guys watching this video. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe to stay all up to date with all things Winnipeg Jets as we get closer and closer to this trade deadline. So, see you guys in tomorrow's recap reaction. Peace, love, and positivity as always. Go Jets, go! And I'll see you guys in the next one.